Hello, everybody. We are back again so soon for a solo podcast again. Jamie's out of town with my family. They're up north, having a blast. I'm here, and we decided that I would just do a solo this week again because it went so well last time. No, I did pre-plan this one, so hopefully that will help you. And also, if I'm breathy, I get so nervous to do these alone, and I don't know why. I think it's because I told myself before, I'm not editing this, I'm recording it and putting it up because when I feel like I can't listen to it if it's just me talking. At least with Jamie is here, I can it separates my talking. I mean, of course I talk over her, but you know what I mean? It's half her that I'm listening to and not only me, so it's a little easier to edit, more digestible. But anywho, we're gonna talk about, and I had cold brew, which I really shouldn't have had. I have a whole thing of it right here. And I already had coffee earlier this morning, and so I'm kind of again, just feeling a little nervy. And I stopped drinking cold brew too, last week. No, last week, I stopped for so long, but I suddenly started getting no, it was one day I got heartburn or something like that. It was a weird feeling, and I was it's because I'm drinking 3 cold brews a day. And so I stopped, and then today I'm having this, which it's that, what is that brand? I can't think of it, but it's the espresso blend cold brew, which is even kind of worse. But anyway, so today it's kind of it's my off day, but not really. I mean, I just kind of have been chilling today, and then I'm going to work after this, but I watched Love Island UK. We're getting towards the end of it. I know Love Island US just started actually, but I tend to like the UK ones more, you guys know, but okay, first of all, if you don't care about this, you can feel free to skip it, but second of all, if you don't want any spoilers, because I'm caught up, I'm on episode 40, because I watch it on ITV, and so I just want to say my opinions, just because Jamie isn't caught up to the point where she's talking to me about Love Island, where she's a few weeks behind, so I'm I can't say any of my current opinions on it because I don't want to spoil it for her. So anyway, I basically just at the part where last night's episode, basically, Whitney and Lachlan, anyway, I love them. They're probably one of my favorite couples. I really do think that they're gonna win just because they're so solid. Whereas Ella and Ty, they've been together since the beginning. They've been together longer, but they've had the rough, rocky road. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. That's just what my gut tells me, and I love that for either of those couples. I love, first of all. Second of all, I've said this from the beginning. I've been rooting for Sammy and Jess for so long. I love Jess, and I do like Sammy a lot too. And I know he's done some shitty things, but I also think more recently, Jess was kind of playing around and things like that. And I was just so mad at the screen. I'm no, you guys are finally good. I like you guys together. And they're one of my favorite couples in there. And when I go on Twitter and I look up their names, because I was giving myself spoilers the other day, I saw that they were getting so much hate, and everyone hates Sammy. And I'm saying that Sammy's just forcing himself to like her. And I'm just I don't agree with that, because he had so many other let's say that was true for the time being, and he wanted to do that to stay in the villa or whatever. Why would he still he's had so many chances to go towards other people, and he still chooses her? So do you get what I mean? He was very he could have been totally fine with what's her name, Amber. And so I don't think that's true. And someone said on Twitter, that he has said that he doesn't like the way she looks and whatever. And I'm just I don't remember him saying that. I remember him saying she's not him saying that she's not his general type, and she's said that before, that he's not even her general type and things like that. And so I'm confused where it's coming from, because I don't remember that comment being made that he doesn't think she's pretty or whatever, because every time I hear him talking about her, he's oh, there's so much sexual tension, all that kind of thing. So I don't know, the discourse around them confuses me a little bit, and so I don't know, but that's where I'm at. I love them. I loved Scott and Kat. I think that they were so good until Casa Amor. I don't know what the fuck happened there with Catherine, but What else? I had like a few things, and then Mitch is a dumbass. I loved Mitch for a really long time, but all of a sudden I'm just like, what are you actually doing? Like, now I see through it because of it's been such a pattern. I feel like he's very much so like one of those people who like knows he's like he has to be really smart like to know exactly what to say to who when to get his way or to get his point across and not have people mad at him and like do you know what I mean? Like he seems like a very manipulator. He seems like a manipulator. I don't want to say he sounds okay, but like he's definitely like playing chess is how I think of it. Even with the girls, like trying to stay good on good terms with both of them and like but snakily like telling, I don't know. I just didn't like the way he's been moving, especially lately. I mean, I think since the beginning, but especially now. I just feel like I've known people like that in life who tell everyone what they want to hear to their face, but then they'll like do other things. You know what I'm saying? Like something's not adding up with him. And right now I just don't understand. And he's pissing me off. So I was just saying that. And then also Uzi, I think he's so sweet. And I like him and Katie together. Katie kind of gives me weird vibes too. Like same with Mitch in a different way. I just feel like some of the things she says are a joke, but like they're not. And she actually like means them in the way she says them. Or like just in general, you know, like her kissing Zach, things like that. I don't know. And so that's my little synopsis on Love Island UK. I'm sorry if you guys do not care about this. I don't know who's actually watching this with me because I feel like it's not being like, I don't know. I feel like I have not seen it on my stories a lot lately, like on Instagram, if people like watching it. But so that's my little update. Zayn was on Call Her Daddy, which that shocked me. I didn't watch it yet. I haven't watched it. And, but I really am excited to. I have to wait for the perfect moment. I told myself like, I mean, I didn't tell myself, but like, it's always been a thing because of how Spotify works with how you can like watch, the podcasts. It's so annoying that you can't watch on the TV. And that's where I like to watch my podcasts when I do. Because they're mostly on YouTube and stuff, but that's only when I watch on Spotify and, you can't like, it's so annoying to put it on the TV. So my thing has been like, if I'm going to watch it, it only feels right to watch it like while I'm doing something like, on the treadmill normally is what I do. And just because it like makes sense to hold my phone for that long and watch it. Otherwise I won't watch it. So I, haven't been on a treadmill, so I need to watch that, somehow, some way, but I am interested in it. I haven't heard I didn't hear much about it afterwards, but anyway, today's podcast, that was just like a little update. What else? I saw a cat in the Yankee Stadium, which baffled me. You know, did you guys see this on TikTok? The cat running through Yankee Stadium and all of like the guys there were like, didn't know what to do. I'm just like, I guess I kind of understand being scared to try to pick up a cat, and it probably would not have let them, but they were like so almost like afraid of the cat. And it was like this tiny, cute little scared cat running into a stadium. I'm like, someone grab him and take him home. Why is everyone just watching and like clapping and stuff? And then the crowd making all this noise, probably scaring the shit out of him. I don't know. And not to mention, like, they wouldn't open the door, and then the announcers were the only people that seemed like they were like any what what am I saying? Any like percentage familiar with cats. How about that? They were like the only people that gave me cat vibes, because the people that were chasing him around, I'm like, you don't know how to catch a cat because this is crazy. But that was something I saw this week. And then, the reason I put the Zayn thing is because I thought that I was going to do this with Jamie, and I thought she would like this tweet. Someone said, since when the hell is Zayn Malik British? I'm like, I thought he was completely American. OMG, that is crazy news to me. The private quotes are coming in. Oh, it's bad for me, I fear. Someone said this on Twitter. I'm just like, I don't know if this is a troll comment or not, because I'm just like, how do you not know? The whole rest of them are British and Irish or whatever, and then he's not. I think that's so funny. Maybe they just pictured him as that. You know, like when you just picture someone as like American or whatever. Anyway, but again, watch that be a joke, and I'm like totally falling into it. Anyway, we're talking about fashion today, like as the normal topic, because, or like just, I asked for like fashion, like topics that you guys would want to hear, because I knew I wanted to do a fashion episode, because obviously that's all I have to fucking talk about. That's all I want to ever talk about, to be honest. Like, and so I don't get the chance often to do like longer format, like audio, verbal talking about, you know, fashion topics. And I don't often talk about my fashion opinions that are like not just like trends that I really like. So I thought it could be fun. And you guys gave me a lot of things to talk about, which I'm very excited. And so thank you to those of you who replied on Instagram. Let me make sure that I got everything before I start. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I did. Oh my God, another thing. Wait, before we get into the fashion stuff, another thing was the Miranda Lambert thing. Sometimes things piss me off enough. I don't understand this. She was standing on stage singing. And listen, I've never had an issue. I like Miranda Lambert, like her music, whatever. But she's standing on stage singing. People are taking selfies in the crowd, right? These 3 girls, I guess. And she called them out on stage saying, like, these girls are taking selfies and I don't like it. We came to listen to country music, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, what are you actually saying? They can't listen to country music and take pictures at the same time. And like, they paid to be there. And I guess they paid like $750 or something to be there, which makes sense this day and age for concerts, unfortunately. But like, I can't even believe that she like thought about that enough to stop what she's doing and say that. Like, it wasn't just like impulse in conversation. You know what I mean? Like, she thought about that and she said it. Why would you do that? And it like genuinely did piss me off because I'm like, I go to, like, you guys know I'm a concert fiend, and I just think I would be so embarrassed. Let's say, like, how does she know, like, they never take pictures of themselves at concert, whatever. Like, even if they take them all throughout the concert, it's none of her business in my personal belief, because they paid to be there. You know what I mean? They paid you to perform. You do your part. You're not paying them or, like, letting them in for free to, like, listen to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you don't really make those kinds of rules, in my opinion. But... And I guess I get like being annoyed by it, but the fact that you call them out on stage in front of all of those people, I just think is so wrong. And I would have felt humiliated. And Whoopi Goldberg jumped in too on The View and said that she agrees, like, that, what does she say? If you're going to spend $750 to come to my concert, then give me the respect of watching me while I do my thing, or don't come. I'm like, maybe they just are so far removed that they don't understand how much $750 is, because the way she just said that, like, you're going to give me $750 and if I see you fucking taking a selfie, you're done. You're out. Like, what do you actually, like, I that's all I have to say is, like, I even commented on it and I was like, I genuinely am trying to understand this mindset and I can't. So most of the time I can understand where someone's coming from, but this one, I'm just like, what are you actually saying? Like, listen to yourself. And again, maybe because it's like not a big like amount to them and they're so detached from like that kind of thing, but also probably like the excitement of going to see someone perform or something. I don't know. But like, I don't know. I don't know. I just do not understand it. And again, I think if she did it in a different way or something, like, I feel like you could have just been like, I'm trying to think of like a different way she could have gone about that without humiliating these people. But like standing on stage would be like, hey guys, let's put our phones away for like I've been to concerts where they do that, where they're like, let's put down our phones for the rest of the concert, like blah, blah, blah. And let's all be here in the music with, you know, in the moment. And I think that she could have done that in a different way rather than calling specifically like, hey, you 3 up front, fuck off. Like, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. I'll stop, but because I don't know why that gets me so heated. I'm sorry, because I think because it's like, you get so excited to be at a concert. I'm just like, I can't imagine that feeling. So I'm sorry. Anyway, let's see. First of all, in the fashion, I'm like sitting all weird. I don't know how I should sit. First of all, I asked you guys for some things to talk about. And one of them was bridal fashion. And I really liked this idea to talk about bridal fashion because I never talk about it. You guys know I got married in 2020. I think. Yeah. Yeah, 2020. Actually, someone asked me that the other day. Like, I was at Joanne Fabrics, and she was like the last name on it, and I told her, and she was like, oh, is that new? Because it must have been like my old last name in it still, which it's everywhere. I haven't changed it. But like, I was just, she was like, oh, is that new? And I was like, not really. I think it's 2 years ago. And then I realized it's like 2023 now, and I guess it's almost 3 years ago. But anyway, got married in 2020. We just had, obviously, like, it was at the very end of October 31st to be exact, on Halloween. And it was like, we didn't know when the pandemic was ending. We just knew that we wanted to get married. And so like we just had a backyard wedding at my mom's with the max amount of people that you could have like at a gathering. And we were very safe and cautious. Jared's grandparents, what do you call it? Where they like marry you? Anyway, I don't know. Like that's how like this was planned within like 2 weeks, by the way. Or maybe not 2 weeks, maybe a month. It must have been a month. Anyway, so I didn't have much time to like actually like put into the fashion portion of it in general. And it was really just like me, my siblings, Jared's sibling, why do I say that? My siblings and Jackson, my brother-in-law, and you know, like those, like it was tight knit, my nana and stuff. So anyway, what am I getting at? Shut up. So I didn't have much anyway. Okay, I wasn't able to put much energy in the fashion portion of it, which looking back, like at the time we didn't care. I didn't care. I just wanted to get married. Like we just wanted it to be like I don't know. I don't even know why, but like I'm glad we did it. Don't get me wrong. But like now that I'm like thinking about it, and I've actually been, like, as I've been seeing bridal things, I'm like, God, it would have been so fun to be able to put together these looks and like well thought out. Do you know what I mean? And like even the decorations, but like genuinely just the dresses and like the fashion and like, I don't know, things like that. So I saw Barbara Palvin and Dylan Sprouse got married this past week or something in Turkey, and their wedding was so beautiful. And I loved Sophia Richie Grange's and her husband, their wedding, and I loved their vibe and everything. I'm just thinking like to the most recent like celebrity weddings that I can think of, but the one that resonated with me more is the more recent, like Barbara Palvin and Dylan Sprouse. I loved the like countryside wedding with her gown was Vivienne Westwood, and I think it was so beautiful, the neckline on it and the structure to it, and then she had those gloves with her rings over the gloves, and I think they're just like a very like, obviously they're a beautiful couple, but like I just loved the vibe of that wedding. And I was like, that's kind of more what I would envision. But as far as like the gowns go and stuff, I just love mine, whenever I got married, it was like off-white. It was like this pinky kind of like ivory pink mix. I don't know. Like silky dress. And I was so against, like, I didn't want to have, because I wasn't having like a traditional wedding, I was like, no, I don't want to have like a white dress or like an ivory dress or anything like that. I want like kind of off-white or pink. And so I found this pink one. Anyway, so I did that. And now that I'm looking back, I'm like, if I were to do it again, I would do like a white or ivory or something. I just think that those are classic. And especially like the simple dresses and gowns that like, they're like simple, but have like, they're understated. I don't know I think that's the word I'm looking for. Understated, very simple in like, in the way that there's like not a lot, it's not busy, and the fabric's not busy or the details are not busy, but it's like structured in a very like unique way. Maybe like, speaking on that Vivienne Westwood one, like the neckline, I feel like that's like a point of interest and makes it a little bit different. But also like being able to accessorize around it. I love big veils, like huge veils, like I like that go to the floor, or just short veils. I think short veils are beautiful. I also really love short bridal dresses, whether it's for like not the rehearsal, well, I mean, yes, but like I don't even know like the names or anything, whether it's for like the reception and then the after party. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like getting married in it, like in front of everyone, and then like the party afterwards. I'm blanking. I know what it's called and I can't think of it. Anyway, like having two separate dresses is what I mean. Like whether either one of them or both or whatever. I love the idea of a short dress, long veil or short veil. I also really love the idea of wedding hats, like the big brimmed hats that have like the netting over it or the veil over it or whatever it is. I think that is so pretty, and it's also so timeless. What's another one? Yeah, like chic short dresses. Also the Orson Iris dress. That was the one that was like my dream dress at the time, but it would not come in time because at the time like it was out of stock and like whatever. But it was it's so beautiful. It still is. And I think it would be it's just, again, it's like a very simple gown. And I think wearing that, I don't even know, is it technically a wedding dress? I don't know. But like, it has, if I can remember correctly, it has like sleeves and like a very pretty neckline and backline. But like wearing like a big veil with that, I think would be so gorgeous. But anyway, what's another thing? Oh, also capes. Have you guys seen like the wedding capes, or like wearing a cape over a wedding dress? I think that would be really beautiful, especially for like a fall or spring wedding. I think that's so gorgeous. I tend to love the long sleeve dresses more. I don't know why. Like every time that I see someone in one, I'm like so great. I think it reminds me more of like vintage style wedding dresses, and I think that's why I like it so much. But I tend to like the ones, again, that just are like super simple in the fabric, and have sleeves, and then you accessorize around it. I love like the pearl headbands that everyone wears too, I feel like lately, and I think that's so, again, like pretty. It's just pretty to me. Large bows as well, I think, are really fun. Some that if I were to like start planning a wedding or whatever right now, the designers that I would take a lot of inspiration from are, first of all, the Chanel brides. I think like, yes, they are like definitely more like editorial, I guess, or like for the runway, but I also think you can take so many elements from them, and they're so unique. A lot of them at least are, when they did those, and I don't even know if they still do, but anyway, I think that would be really fun. But sorry, I keep saying and like I'm so out of, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna take a second. As I say it again. Anyway, Chanel brides, I think looking back at those could be really inspirational. Also, designers that I love for inspo, I remember loving, and still I think I follow, or I see her on Pinterest all the time, but is Danielle Frankel. And I think whether you buy from these, obviously like buy from these designers if you can or whatever, but like I think not even that period. I think like just taking inspiration from the details surrounding the dresses and how they style them, but also just like the shape of the dresses, like finding what you like through these like very, very extravagant dresses and designers and things. But like Cicely Bonson, I love her designs, and I think that, I don't know if she has like a bridal collection or not, but I feel like I have seen her dresses, whether they are bridal, meant for that or not, be really pretty as a bridal dress. Again, even only for surrounding like the surrounding stuff for a wedding, you know, like rehearsal dinners, showers, things like that, would be really beautiful. And also Sandy Leong, the bridal stuff, like again with the styling, I think that's exactly how I do it, with like the big bows, the tall white socks. I think it's so fun, and like that's how I just feel about Sandy Leong in general. It's just like a breath of fresh air. But like seeing the way they've styled their bridal selections and things like that, I have saved so many of them to my Pinterest just for fun, because I just think they're so cute. But anyway, so anything like, I just love the look of classic and beautiful. But I think also, like, oh my god, like I don't know what I was gonna say. I was talking about like how I think of them. I always think of like the weddings that I really like, the photography mattering so much, and like having that like flash, very contrasted kind of vintage feel, and like not grainy, but like what's that, like the movement, you can see the movement. I love those kinds of wedding pictures and things like that. But yeah, all in all, that's kind of like my take on wedding. I do love wedding like talk, like fashion wedding talk especially, but wedding talk in general I think is so fun. That's why I love Say Yes to the Dress. Do they still make that? I don't know, but I loved that. Another topic is Jane Birkin. You guys, actually I had like a few requests to talk about Jane Birkin, which I actually always loved talking about Jane Birkin, even before this past week, which she passed away unfortunately, and which is so sad. I think Jane, I've always thought of her as like, if you were to like in the past few years ask me like someone who really like I feel like changed something in my brain about fashion in a way, like when I started, I've always kind of known about Jane Birkin. When I really did some research a few years ago on her, when I really started liking like the basket bags, and then people were saying, oh, it's the Jane Birkin, I was like, wait, you're right, that's where I've seen that. And then I did like some again, more research on her and things like that. And I just really loved how she went about her style and her fashion. And and obviously everyone has been saying this, but she's an icon for a reason. But she basically, I was reading an article about her recently, and it said like she helped define chic feminine sexuality of the 1970s as an actress in arty and erotic European movies and in her relationship, and became known for inspiring one of the best lines of luxury handbags. So this is a story that I actually got so wrong. And every article that I've read about it, I've read like 5, they all have a different story on how the Birkin bag came to be and like what Jane specifically said to the head and designer Jean-Louis Dumas at the time, or the chairman and head designer of Hermes. Okay. And I'm not saying any of that right, I know. But anyway, she was on a flight in 1984. Her straw bag falling out of the overhead compartment, which led to a spillage of belongings. She casually suggested that he should design a handbag more capacious, more capacious than a Kelly, but more compact than a suitcase. She normally carried a large basket. The man sitting next to her happened to be, again, Jean-Louis Dumas. I'm not going to even try. Dumas. The chairman and head designer of Hermes. The company, Hermes. The company released the Birkin bag line the same year in just the large size she had requested, but doing so overlooked the preceding decades, the 60s and 70s, in which Birkin's tousled bangs, basket bags and crochet pieces epitomized her seemingly nonchalant French girl style, and whether it was high-waisted flares, mini dresses, or the white gown she famously wore backwards, which I just recently saw another picture of that, and it reminded me of like, when I see things like that, I'm like, I feel like I'm so stuck inside like the norm of things. I'm like, you can take like, I can wear this backwards if I want, just because I want to. Like, there really are no rules to anything, but like, especially fashion and style. And I think it's a reminder to like play around with your clothes and more than you just like right off the bat think to. And I think so many of the people that I really look up to as like fashion icons and things in general, like do that so well. I think another like a more modern take on it is like B. Jones Style. She's someone who I've watched for a really, really long time on YouTube. And she does that a lot, like just taking something and creating a whole new like essence of life for it. And I think that, again, that's just so inspiring and so like eye-opening to like, again, a good reminder to just like try new things with things that you own and like that you wouldn't normally think of. And just to try things. And so Jane seemed to do a lot of that, but I thought that her and the guy who designed the Birkin, a lot of people would be mad at me saying that, but what was I saying? I thought they were friends. I didn't know they were just sitting next to each other on a plane, but that's kind of the story I got. Anyway, her looks to me, again, why they're so inspirational is that they've always looked so personal and so lived in, and I think that that's something that I think I could do a lot better of. Excuse me. I have like the hiccups, and oh my god, I'm sorry, I really do have the hiccups, but like I think that's something anyway that I can do a lot better of first of all, wearing everything that I own. First of all, I think that also helps with having a lived-in look, but because things look more worn and like loved on. And second of all, just like living in them, not only wearing them to like one thing. And I mean, I don't do that like so much, but you know, I'm trying to like verbalize what's in my brain. I'm just like, wear my stuff more, and like, it's okay to sit in it at home. It's okay to do these things, or like go out to multiple things with it. Like, it doesn't matter where you wear it to, things like that. Anyway, she would always like in the details, like rolling your sleeves and like wearing things wrong and having a scarf around her basket bag and all of her charms on her bag that she, like, everyone always talks about, that make them look worn and used. And it's like it's like, to me, a classic take on bohemian style. But the biggest thing for me is I think that it's so easy to try, like, for me, like, it doesn't come naturally to like have like my stuff I feel like doesn't look super like weird because I have so many like bags, and so like having one that you like go to and you personalize it to make it look different and things like that is something that I want to be better about, because I think again it makes things look more personal, but also you are getting more use out of like the individual items. And sorry, the cat food just went off. I don't know if you could hear that, but I think, I don't know, I just seem to always gravitate towards people whose stuff looks like they love it, you know? And I think it's so easy to try to like me to like put charms and stuff on my bag to make it look like a Jane Birkin bag, but at the end of the day, that's the Jane Birkin look. And I feel like that's what's so iconic about her, is that it was her look, and you haven't seen other people do that a lot or whatever it is. And so finding things like that you can do with your own stuff that you've kind of come up with in your own brain or randomly, that again, just trying new things and seeing what sticks for you and things like that. But yeah, there's a whole outfit inspo thing too on VogueHK.com. It's like the Birkin French girl style, and they have a ton of little outfit inspirations that I thought was cool to pass on in case you guys were interested, but loved those. And then you guys asked favorite celebrities for like fashion inspiration, and at first initially I was like, I don't know, I feel like I'm mostly like in the I get a lot of inspiration from online like culture, bloggers, things like that. But then once I actually started thinking about it, I actually have a lot of celebrities that I really love, because I thought initially I only had like a couple, but first of all, Zendaya. I love her style, but especially like her editorial style. And I know that that's a lot of the time like brands putting her in those things or whatever, but I love the style. Like the one that's coming to my mind is like her in the blue tights. I can't think of what it was for, but I love that. And also her street style. I've just always loved her style, and like her event style. I love it. Another one is Miley Cyrus, another person who just her outfits feel so personal. And I have a video on my channel on like how to dress like Miley Cyrus, but and that's really reignited it, because since the Hannah Montana era, to be real, she inspired, well, to be fair, her and Lily. I used to love Lily's style more, which I used to try to emulate those things, and like some things you can't recreate, you know what I mean? Like, and when it's not on a TV show and you're wearing that to like a family function, it's like, what are you actually doing? But yeah, so Miley Cyrus is one that I just love her vibe, because I feel like it's like leans on casual, but it's so like not edgy, but like it's just fun. And especially recently with her like designer archive looks, I think it's just so her, and she's always given me so much inspiration in like fashion and things like that. But another one is Alexa Chung. Is probably my biggest one forever, is Alexa Chung. I feel like if I don't know what to wear and I were to go to like one person's style, or like looking up their style for outfit inspiration, let's say, I would go to Alexa Chung, just because I think that like, I mean, it's just classic style, but she also has a bit of fun with it, and I love that. Another one is Chloe Sevigny. I don't know. I've never known how to say her name, which is why I've probably never even tried to say it on anywhere. But just one that I know a lot of you guys probably feel the same way, but it's just so personal and so unique. And every time I see a paparazzi picture of her, or a picture in general, I save every single outfit inspo picture that I've seen of hers. Like there's not one that I just don't love. And I don't know, so much inspiration there. Another one is Tessa Thompson, which her style is so good to me too. I feel like specifically her streetwear looks. They kind of like, they're so casual and put together, but at the same time, like fun in a way. And like the details, the way she accessorizes and things like that, I love. Dakota Johnson, I've loved her for so long, loved her style. Again, especially her Gucci looks. Always, but her no. Not, I don't want to say that. Sorry, I have allergies right now. But I'm like, oh my god, they're like coming out randomly. But anyway, Dakota Johnson, yeah, her style, especially her street style. That's what I was gonna say. Yes, her Gucci stuff I love, but her street style. I mean, again, I did a whole video on her, and that's why I've done those people. And another one that I've done a video on is Zoe Kravitz, because all these people are people that I like. I love their style, and Yeah, Zoe Kravitz, I mean, she wears the row a lot, and I think she does it in a way that, like, I feel like a lot of people who wear the row do but don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she does it in a little bit more of a fun way, and the colors that she wears and like the combinations and things like that, I guess is what I mean. But yeah, those are the people that I really love looking at. Okay, so how to discover your own taste. Pandemic and Pinterest helped me so much. And I agree. And I think the pandemic in general, like, first of all, a lot of people were posting their style online. Second of all, kind of removed you, like, and had to, like, be online maybe more than outside, and so you could think about it more. I don't know. But Pinterest has always been really, really, really helpful for me. And that's why I feel like I talk about the inspiration that I get a lot, like whether they're bloggers I love or Pinterest or whatever it is. I think I talk about that a lot because it's really helped me personally, because to be honest, I've always been into fashion, but I think that I've gone through so many phases, and I don't know, like, when I feel like within the past few years has been really where I've stepped into, like, my actual, like, finding, like, my vibe, my real vibe, you know what I mean? Like, rather than, well, I don't know. But anyway, that Pinterest specifically has been a really big help for me. And I think that just in general, finding people's style that you resonate with, and pinpointing, again, I feel like I say this all the time, but pinpointing what exactly you like about it. And just in general, like, the outfits, looking back at your own outfits and, like, what do I like? What do I dislike? And kind of curating from there. But if we're talking about discovering your own taste, I think, yeah, just, like, seeing things on other people is so helpful, because I don't know, again, like, really analyzing things, I guess. But also not paying attention to any, like, if, ands, or buts, like, when shopping, I think is big. This is something that I've realized within the past year or so, but, like, even if it's just once in a while, taking yourself off of, like, I really need to think about this purchase, like, think it through, like, what can I wear this with, whatever. And rather than that, just, like, kind of being like, I love this piece, like, I will figure out the rest later, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's a really great way to curate a closet full of things that you really love. And I think if you really love something, you'll find a way to wear it. And that's at least my view. And that's probably not, it's not true all of the time. Like, I think that sometimes I get things that I really, really, really love, and I just can't style it, or, like, I just don't wear it a lot because it's so specific. You know what I mean? But I think that if you try to really just force yourself to figure it out, like, there's ways to style everything, obviously. So just doing that and just filling a closet of things that you really love, and like that, no matter, like, I think whether, I don't know how to say this, like, whether if you have if you have a lot of things that you really love, they'll go together some way, somehow, whatever, because you really love them. That's kind of how I think about it. Like, even just, like, things that, again, I wouldn't necessarily put together in my closet, I love them, and I'll just wear them together anyway, and you can just make it work somehow. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least you have a lot of things that you love. Again, that might be bad advice, like, because I do also believe in thoughtful purchasing and, you know, making sure you wear your stuff and things like that. But if we're just talking about discovering our own taste, I think that's how I personally am going about it more recently. And I think that's also why, like, because sometimes, like, sometimes it doesn't happen when thrifting, because I thrift a lot, as you guys know, and I think that sometimes the excitement, like, it used to be, so that the excitement of finding something for whatever price it is, or just finding, like, something, like, halfway to what I am looking for, do you know what I mean? But I'm like, oh, well, I found it thrifting, so I can just deal with this. It ends up not being, like, sometimes it ends up not being exactly what I wanted all along, and then I just, like, end up buying the thing anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I think, like, I don't know, it's hard. But yeah, I that's why I'm always a big proponent for online, like, finding people that you love online and style and things, and, like, weeding out, like, that's what I need to do, is weed out my Instagram, because I follow so many people. And I think that's because I have so many, like, personalities as far as style goes, but weeding out people that, like, just don't resonate anymore and keeping it like that, like, I think that's so inspirational. Anyway, what's another one? How to dress and buy clothes when weight fluctuates. So this is a good question. I don't feel like I talk. I feel like I don't get these questions that often. But I think it's part of the normal human experience. And if you don't want to hear about this, then feel free to skip. Or if, weight is a trigger or anything for you. But I'm just going to briefly talk about it anyway. But again, I think it's part of the normal human experience. Your body changes, things change, whatever. And I'm speaking from my personal experience, but I love thrifting for that reason. I think that you have like a lot less pressure maybe on wearing the things. And I don't know. I wrote down stuff that I'll read. I'm just going to read it because then I don't want to anyway. I think like not letting your weight determine what you buy in all aspects is what I believe in personally. Like if I'm a different size than I usually am, I think I just buy the piece no matter what at this point. And if that changes, my body changes again in the future, whichever way, you can either alter it or replace it, and not putting an emphasis on the way you look, your weight, or whatever it is when making purchases. I think that's personally what I believe in at this point in life. And again, I think like if you're trying to find like new clothes that you like and you're not used to styling your body in whatever way it is anymore, I think thrifting again is a great way I've always thought to try things out for that reason. And so yeah, we always have problems, don't we? I just had to reset this up. So for the viewers on YouTube, I'm sorry you're in a different location and now we're recording right here. I don't even know if this is a good angle, but anyway, so as we were talking about, yeah, I think that's all I had to say basically on that. But that's just what from my experience has helped me personally. Anyway, also confidence tips. I saw this one clip of Rihanna and someone said, what do you do on the days where you guys already know this one, I'm sure. What do you do on the days where you don't feel that confident? And she said, you pretend, or she pretends. And I like that because I think that that's personally what I think helps me. I think that also goes hand in hand with affirmations, fake it till you make it kind of thing. And that's, again, that might not work for everyone, but me, I might be delusional or just very easy to believe myself or something. I don't know, but like that's what I think. And I think if you're putting in like the positive energy towards yourself in the affirmations in general, I've seemed to feel better. And I also heard about expect formations. I saw this thing somewhere online, and it's like when you wake up, you expect to have the best day, or you expect to light up a room, or you expect for things to go a certain way. You expect to have, let's say, like people yearning over you, anything like, and I think that goes like, it's like a step further from affirmations. It's like, I think like finding affirmations that speak to you on what you're looking for, whether it be confidence, feeling great about yourself, like happy, whatever it is. I always believe in those. But as far as style and fashion goes, I think easing yourself into whatever it is also, and like having confidence, because if that was the question, like having confidence in like what you're wearing or whatever. I think for me, sometimes like when I'm trying a new style and I don't feel as confident going outside in it, you know what I mean? Like a certain vibe or like a certain trend, let's say, even, you know what I mean? Things like that. I think easing myself into it really helps me personally. And by that, I mean like dosing it. Like if I know I'm going somewhere like that, not for a long time, or going somewhere where I'm seeing certain people that it doesn't matter as much, or things like that. And then, working yourself up to like, this is like fine. First of all, also just realize, I have to tell myself like no one cares, but anyway, or whether it's showing more of your body, like again, just like easy. I've heard of like microdosing, things like that. Wearing shorter sleeves until it gets to no sleeves. I don't know. Like, again, I just think finding whatever works for you makes you feel the most comfortable. I think being comfortable helps a lot with feeling confident, because when I'm more comfortable, I'm confident. I think easing my way into comfort, or to be more comfortable with the idea of something or whatever helps. But what else was I going to say? Oh, I actually brought out a bunch of books because I wanted to like, for this purpose, because these have really helped me in that journey with myself, I think. And I've shared these ones before, and these are like the only ones that I really go back to. But ask and it's given. This actually feels so cringy, crazy, like telling you guys these things, right? Like being like, this is how you do it, but I'm just telling you what helped me. You know, I'm not trying to like jump anything down your throats, but ask and it's given, learning to manifest your desires, with Esther and Jerry Hicks. And I just think it's the teaching of Abraham as well. And, like Abraham Hicks. And I just think that this it has like parts in this book where it just helps you with like the mindset part of it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that for me, that's the most helpful, is where my mind is and things like that. But Make It Happen 369 method, guided journal. Also love this for that, because if whatever you're trying to focus on, whether it's confidence, whether it's happiness, again, whatever the case is, whatever you're trying to get through in your life or get to in your life, I think that this really helps. It's the 369 methods. It's the thing that you're looking for, right? Let's say I'm trying to manifest happiness. I am happy. I write it 3 times in the morning. I write it 6 times in the afternoon. I write it 9 times in the evening. This one I'm not as good about, but I just feel better when I do it. And for this is just for those of you who are interested in these. The Great Secret, one of my favorite books. It also has a movie thing. Love these. Again, if you're just looking to help with a mindset reset. And then 101 essays that will change the way you think. Again, I just really like this. I have a cheese stick pack as my bookmark. But like for instance, practice negative visualization. Create tangible solutions for your tangible fears. Show yourself that you won't actually die if you lose a job or a boyfriend. Make a list of the things you worry about most. Imagine the worst outcome, and then make a plan for exactly how you would deal with it if you came to pass. What? If that came to pass? Oh my God, not you. Oh my God. Practice healthy discomfort. Learn to lean into your stress, not resist it. Things like that. I don't know. Anyway, 8 cognitive biases that are creating the way you experience your life. Things like that. I don't know. It's kind of more just introspective. And they're things that I personally just believe have really helped me in these things. So in case they would help you, those are them. Anyway, my opinion on aesthetics taking over for trends recently. And I thought that this was really interesting because I had never really thought of it like that until you said it, if you're listening to this. But I think it's crazy because now that you did say it, it makes sense because, I mean, people still talk about trends and like specific things, you know, like sambos or hair bows, things like that. But I think something that's become just as prevalent, maybe, as the actual trends, individual trends, is like the more generalized aesthetic. And so like, you know, the coastal grandma, what's another one? I'm trying to think, like Western girly or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like all those different aesthetic things I think is interesting because I think it's just an easier way maybe to generalize a whole vibe rather than like you can pick from those things in there. Like it's not just one specific thing. I don't know. I wonder like how that, like, I know TikTok has obviously had a big thing about it because it's more about like your whole lifestyle, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like with the coastal grandmother's aesthetic, it's like the books you read to have that aesthetic, the places you go and the things you eat, and it's not only about fashion, it's kind of more of like a lifestyle kind of thing, at least from my perspective. And I think that's interesting. I don't think you said that though. Because I even find myself like more so thinking about things as more broad, like not only one specific thing. Like right now, my whole obsession and personality is like the nautical coastal, like sailor, like literal sailor, aesthetic and things like that. And, I find myself not only gravitating to one thing about it, but just the thing as like the look as a whole, like all different aspects of it. The collars, the hats, the sunglasses, the earrings, you know what I mean? Like things like that. And, I don't know. It's like completely engulfing, and it kind of takes over. Like, I feel like it could take over like your whole personality, or not personality. That's maybe dramatic, but like closet, you know what I mean? Like when it's not just one singular item anymore, it's kind of like a whole bunch of things, like a top, a bottom, and shoes, and like the whole look to get the whole look, or the whole, you know what I mean? Things like, I don't know. Interesting. They gave me something to think about though. Thrifting or clearance shopping. That's hard because I get more of a thrill from clearance shopping, I think, and like more happiness maybe, as much as I love thrifting. But I'd probably say I'd like rather thrift just because I find myself doing that more to shop, like thrifting, whether it's like I was actually telling Jared this yesterday that if I could pick one place to shop for the rest of my life, it would be eBay. And I mean that because you can clearance shop like designers on there. Like you can get anything literally. I'm like going to be an eBay ad. I should be on the commercial, but like seriously, you can find anything on there. And that's my, like I would rather eBay for the rest of my life than thrift. But the reason I thrift is because it's still cheaper. You can get more for your money at the thrift store than on eBay, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think I would pick thrifting, but at the same time, clearance shopping again brings me more joy. But like I think of clearance shopping as like Essence sale time or like going to the store and looking on the clearance rack or whatever it is, or like I tend to buy a lot of like my more designer things when they aren't full price. So I don't know. But something I never wear and why. This one I just generally don't have anything that I can think of off the bat. And second of all, I never ever let myself say those things because, especially to you guys, but just in general, because I will prove myself wrong. Like I will say that I don't like something. And it never, ever, ever, it's almost never, first of all, I like almost anything. And that's my downfall. That's why I am a hoarder too, like for fashion especially, because I like so many things. But just in general, I don't have anything specifically that I can say I would never wear ever. Because again, I just know myself too. I change my mind so often. I'm down to try things. It's just, and I can't think of anything specifically. I don't know, because I probably would have said like crochet pieces like a year ago, and I love crochet pieces, but for some reason they were off-putting a year ago to me. But now I genuinely can't say anything. And then there's also fashion icks. And again, this is something that I genuinely, I have no right to dislike anything that anyone wears, because I have worn the absolute most atrocious things, and I know I probably will think the same of things that I'm wearing right now. And so like, I don't know. I don't feel like I don't have things like, I don't think about things like that. I'm so focused on the things that I like want to buy and like that I don't think about them. But, I think I think it's more of like, it's not like what people wear or anything. It's more of a mindset that people have. First of all, when people judge other people's fashion choices in general, I hate it. I don't know. I don't like it when people do that. When they say like, or just in general, when they like list off theirs and they're more general things that they know a lot of people like. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. It's a hard topic, but I think, it just shouldn't be, but like, Anyway, another thing on the opposite side of the spectrum is wearing something just because other people say it's cool, or wearing something because one specific person says it's cool, or things like that. And I think just for that reason, so that you think like so you feel involved. And I think that's happened a lot less lately, but I think especially during like, I remember definitively when Emma Chamberlain used to make those videos on like her outfits. Do you remember that at her old house? I'm so creepy. At her old house, like she would be at the top of the stairs and she would show like outfits. And I remember people being like around that time, Emma, what are we wearing for summer? What are we wearing this summer? What are we wearing this fall? And like a lot of people online, the discourse was like, at least where I was online, this might not be true for everyone, but everyone was talking about it constantly, and it was like putting so much of what they were wearing in the hands of like, or what they were liking or whatever, in the hands of like one singular person's vibe and like opinion and things like that. And I think Emma did a really great job. This is nothing about Emma, but like, she did such a good job, but like not even, she never like talked about like, she would talk about things she liked, but she never said, I hate these, or I at least I can remember. I felt it was like that's why I always watched it too. But just in general, I think that taking it too literally. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but I just think like placing so much emphasis on like what's cool, what's not, and like things like that. Anyway, my summer fashion vibes and my personal trends this year. So personally, like I can't, I'm going to stop saying it because I don't know if I've even talked about it as much as I've thought about it. And that's why I think I'm talking about it so much. But like the nautical, like sailor vibe, I've been saying it. It used to be like the mermaid core I was talking about constantly, but now it's just like, I just want a sailor collar and a shirt that looks like a sailor and a hat that looks like a sailor and has an anchor on it. I don't know why. I feel like my mom, because my mom gets so engulfed in things like that. And like actually within the sailor thing, she has a sailor hat. And for like a good 2 years, that's all she talked about ever was, everyone come to my birthday dressed as a sailor, please. Like, things like that. I think maybe I get it from her, like the fixation on things, but I love that. I also just love anything crochet right now, like I was mentioning, and knit, like skirts and things like that, like wide knits and things like that, like the crochet hats that you guys know I love. Anything that's like, I would like to coin this term as elevated funk, that it's like it's like a fairly casual outfit, let's say, right? But it's like the tones are all within the same tone, you know, like it's a tonal outfit and it's kind of more chilled out, but you have like your fun, funky accessories on it. So elevated funk, whatever that means to you. Whatever you think of elevated and then whatever you think of funk, and mixing the two. That's kind of just what I'm into. And accessorizing the shit out of anything and not afraid to over accessorize, because for so long I was telling myself, like, when I would look back at pictures of my outfits or whatever it is, I would be like, oh my God, I wore way too many things, like too many necklaces or like whatever it is. And I think like that, you know, that stupid, like what is that Coco Chanel quote? It's like, before you leave the house, take off one thing from your outfit to make it perfect or whatever it is. You know, like you're, I can't remember the quote. You know what I mean? Like, take one thing off and then your outfit's complete. I thought of that for so long, and I think I still do sometimes. And I do think it's like decent advice. Like, sometimes I do agree with that. But I think for me right now, like at least for the summertime, I can't have too many accessories. I feel like so fun when I'm accessorizing and wearing like a necklace. Like, normally I would, like, on my head part of my body, I would be like, oh, I can't have like funky earrings, a funky necklace, and a funky hat, like, and sunglasses. Like, it's too busy. But now I'm like, who cares? Like, if it feels right, it's right. And that's just what I believe. I don't know. Again, I feel like I haven't talked like this in depth about my opinions in a really long time in fashion, but that's genuinely also because I feel like I do not want to make anyone feel weird about, like, I mean, I know I don't have that power, don't get me wrong, but when I personally hear someone like, I hate when people wear a full purple outfit, they look like Barney, and then I'm wearing purple pants and a purple sweater, and I'm just like, ooh, I do kind of look like Barney, you know, like, it doesn't make me not want to wear it, let's say, but it doesn't need to be labeled like that, you know, as like weird or not. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense either. But that's all I have for today, you guys. I lasted an hour, which is kind of crazy, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was a little bit better, at least, than my last solo one. Because yeah, I know it's rambly, but I'm sorry. I don't know how to talk to myself. I mean, in this format, you know what I mean? It's so weird. So anyway, I love you guys so much, and I really do appreciate you guys putting in your advice things and like the topics that you'd like me to discuss. And I think that this was really fun in a different format than my YouTube videos to talk about them in. So I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next week. And yeah, bye.